Soumya will be here as a member of ECEL. Soumya, so in case I'm not present here, Soumya will assist, ma'am.
Thank you, Rahulji, and thank you all for having me here. And I am Dr. Rashmi, CEO and founder of STEAM Edu Learning. STEAM Edu is a startup with the support of IDDTU Innovation Foundation. We started with STEAM education. And before starting STEAM, let us understand what STEAM is. So let me share my screen first. Hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, ma'am.
So, as you can see, everybody is aware of STEM. So, by adding arts to STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and maths. And adding arts to it, it makes it STEAM. So, basically, STEAM education is an educational model of learning using science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics as its access points to create a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship among the students, whether it be college students or school students. So we are here under IDDTU Innovation Foundation, started with STEAM education sessions with the colleges as well as the school students. We focus on spreading a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship based on STEAM education. So going to our philosophy is based on a mantra called Amantram Aksharam Nasti, Nasti Mulashnosnam, Ayoga Purusho Nasti, Yojakastra Durlabha. That means there is not a syllabus which cannot be turned into a spell. There's not a plant that is not a medicine. And there's no person who is useless. Only a programmer, that is a yojak, is rare. So as you know, everything which is on earth is of some use. And everything has a potential that has to be identified. So based on this Sanskrit slope, we want all the young growing minds, the young innovators, to be programmers and innovators in order to just solve the problems instead of waiting them to get solved by someone else. As we have a great country, Bharat, we do have an history of such programmers and yojak in our history. So in education, if we identify the potential of each and every student, like every student has some potential, but by identifying them and using them to solve the problems of the society brings back a culture of innovation. Our vision is inspired by Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, Bhakti Yoga. So when Arjuna asked Lord Krishna that what type of bhakti can attain you? So what is it, a Sakarup Bhakti or a Nirakarup Bhakti? The Sakarup Bhakti is by seeing God in a person, like identifying them as a person. You are seeing that. And Nirakar Bhakti is dynamic. And that is a difficult mark. And that is difficult to attain as well and painful. As the Sakarup Bhakti is easy, as you can see the thing, you can feel the thing, and you can attain, but both marks are equal. So when Krishna replied to this question of Arjun, that what bhakti should all follow? So he said, all the bhaktis are equal, but reaching up to me, doing something which in any way can say, like serve the society, can reach me. So When we apply this answer of Krishna to the traditional method of education, which is Nirakar, the students are having a syllabus of learning, and when they learn, they just learn to score marks, not to get a knowledge, and that is very difficult and laborious and painful. But when we switch over to STEAM education, which is a modern model where students have an opportunity, a hands-on experience in real life, and applying these latest technologies like robotics, AI, drone technology in order to solve the problems of the society. They land up doing innovation and entrepreneurship. And that is what is called Sakaru Bhakti, which is easy, smart, and painless. So whenever we do apply these type of inspirations in our education model, we come up with a great nation of innovation and entrepreneurship. Our mission is to make a culture of innovation through STEAM education, like taking an inspiration from the missile man, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who said that only innovation can make the nation great. As learning gives creativity, creativity in turn blossoms thinking, and thinking provides knowledge, and the knowledge results in innovation. And is innovation which makes a nation great. And also, we are also inspired by the youth icon Vivekananda, who said, education is the manifestation of perfection already exists in man. We have to identify our potential inside so that we can energize it, use it to solve the global challenges, and in turn, make our nation great. So, our mission is for the future innovators and entrepreneurs using 21st century skills, like not doing innovations, but focusing on design thinking, critical thinking, service orientation, cognitive flexibility, their creativity and imagination applying to solve the challenges of the society, complex problem solving, and also making judgment and decisions. So overall, total personality develops while doing hands-on learning. It is not only robotics or a technology, but it is a complete learning. So during the phase of learning, the parents and the students, as well as the teachers, focus on developing the IQ of the students. But actually, there are 4 questions in life for the innovation. The first one is spiritual questions. As while students are learning or working on the programs, and while doing the games or coding, they gradually know internally the whole system is based on 0 and 1. That means the whole world actually applies is based on soul and super soul. So when they learn this, they are spiritually connected to each other. And that leads to a love question, loving each and every one around as they find that they are the children of one God. So they love each other as brothers and sisters. And this love question leads to an emotional question. Whenever you love someone, you understand what pain and problem each and every person is going through. For example, when our students who are learning, school students as well as the college students, when they go for outreach with us to different places, remote areas, and to the underprivileged areas, when they find that they can feel the pain and the problems of the society, in turn, using all these 3 questions, they land up brushing up their intelligent questions. That means to solve the problem, they work hard, they find the different ways to help them and how to solve the problems by doing innovations along involving and working in a team with those students. So in STEAM Edu, we focus on spreading the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship using STEAM education through its learning by doing programs on different cutting-edge technologies like robotics, app development, IoT, web entrepreneurship, game design, virtual reality. And in turn, these students, they work projects and they are also prepared for the also participate in national and international competition. In turn, they work in teams. They develop their critical thinking. They develop a confidence to how to present in public by pitching, design thinking, helping each other, collaborating in teams. So it is also a competition-like development in them. That means cooperating as well as competing. So we do different programs and workshops on design thinking, research-based learning, learning from their failures, while doing different workshops that might be of robotics, app development, Internet of Things, drones, or virtual reality. During these programs, the students find a problem and use these technologies and research about them, and they learning from the failures, they land up in different innovations. And while this, there's one thing, they help each other by peer learning and peer mentoring. So they learn to work in teams. So in STEAM Edu, the students from the college, they in turn mentor the students of the school students, and in a team, our students with STEAM Edu go to the outreach projects to the areas which are very remote, to the underserved section of the society, and provide this life-changing experience to them, working in a team, and do a free STEAM education sessions so that every child of the society had the access of this modern way of learning in order to innovate. So until now, during our outreaches, we have reached to several areas of India in an offline as well as an online mode to the rural, tribal, and remote areas of landing from Ladakh to Rameshwaram, from the east to Assam to Delhi, UP, and now also in Madhya Pradesh. We also focus on Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. We are also reaching a place in Africa where there is a very, what you call, underserved area in Cameroon. We do have our mentor because we consider one earth, one family, and one future. So most of the students of our team, what our students are, 70% of students are girls. So in turn, we are filling the gender gap of women in the field of science and technology. And we do have a special program run by girls, that is Genius. Girls Empowering New India using STEAM. As we are associated with Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University, who is also focusing on bringing girls and tech and filling this gender gap. So Genius is working towards it, promoting women in entrepreneurship as well as girls in tech. And we do have several programs running with them, and we are focusing to cover all ingeniouses to reaching to every girl of the society, to the end, to the whole India as well as to the whole world. We do have connection outside the India also, and the people like girls and women are coming up with this. So STEAM Edu is also covered by different media channels like Z and CNN also, and they have covered our stories, different success stories of our students as well. So STEAM education, basically a model, a way of learning, way of approach, where this technology or the learning of tech can be spread in a fun-loving way by doing. Instead of theory, we do run practical programs. So anybody has question about it is most welcome. So we have our office we are associated with Anveshan Foundation. Can reach out to our website as well as drop a mail to us. And any questions, I'm here to answer.
Ma'am, how do you incorporate this art in this STEM education, basically? Like,
See, I'll start with myself. I am a qualified homeopathic physician, like a person from medicine. But
Good.
how I landed in technology is an interesting story. Like during my practice, I treat the patient with sweet pills. That means the disease is treated in a very way, like it should be gentle and it should have a healing. So during working for my media channels like Facebook, I started learning the chatbot and developed my chatbot myself. And through learning, I developed interest in technology as well. So by learning by doing, I learned everything. So connecting my creativity, art, that is the part A. Art doesn't limit to A, arts. It limits to be creativity, problem solving. So apply technology and science with that. That is the integrated approach of learning, that is STEAM, along with STEM.
So, like a lot of institutes are giving this training program. Tinker Lab is also giving. Yes. So how do you like differentiate it?
So actually, they are running training programs. Ours is a mentoring program. Training means one person is speaking and the other is listening. The students are listening. But it's totally opposite in our association and organization. Here, there is not a training board, but students work in a team and they identify a problem. Then through research-based learning, they learn in a team. And when they have any difficulty, they discuss with them. And as mentors, we focus that if they face any difficulty, we can work out with them. But it's not a training. So we are working on STEAM education, but in a tinkering way, not in a training way. It's totally learning by doing.
Can you just give me one example? Like suppose some child like from second class or someone is 8th class. So how you like both working in a team? How you manage that?
Yeah. We do have examples of running the workshop. Like we do have a workshop in IDDTU as well. That was on C+, applying on the robots. So during that workshop, the youngest student was in 5th standard and the eldest was a professor in college.
Okay.
So they were working in a team. We do have such programs. And we also have a youngest student at the age of 4 years and the oldest one, like we are running a program with teachers that is innovation learning in teaching. And we have teachers of above 60 as well.
No, I just want to know like how they would be involved in solving the problem, like how you approach towards the problem, like they are in different age groups and different like backgrounds.
Okay, so you're asking how you should approach or the student should approach?
No, means there is a problem. Suppose there is a problem of pollution, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So how like you are mentoring to students, like how to approach towards the problem, like to solve this problem?
Yeah. First of all is identify the problem is the passion of the student, not us. We are a part of, we just let them identify the pain. the pain points. They do like design thinking sessions, and they discuss different problems of the society among these teams and find their passion. They have to work on such problems. First, identification through brainstorming and ideation. Then they pick up a problem, and the person who are interested to solve make a team. When they make a team, they just figure out what points, like how they can work out, give a solution, best possible solution, and what best technology can be applied to it. So when they identify that technology or different technologies like combining robotics, IoT, or drone, everything, like it can have a single technology or the combination of all. So in order, they have to learn these technologies, like they chose virtual reality, some solution on virtual reality, as well as 3D modeling. So they learn, like a student from even second grade start thinking that he has to learn that. So by approaching simple, like in a team, they discuss the learning as well as each other. Like if one person is working on something, the other person works on something, then they share their learning and they end up making a prototype. And working on that prototype, like they make some innovation or something built, then they program. Like maybe a simple person, like simple student of up to 5 can make a simple app to solve that problem. So basically, it is not the technology they are learning. They are learning an approach to solve the problem. Are problem solvers. So this is what the industry is needing. A mind of a programmer, not a coder. I hope I'm clear to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, this is commendable what you have done, but how many years has it taken for you to reach this level?
Will you please repeat your question? I couldn't hear the whole question.
No, you have done a commendable job, but how many years it took you to reach?
Years. Actually, my journey is a bit longer, but we incubated a startup under IGDQ in 2018. So officially, we are a 4 to 5 year, 4.5 year journey.
Oh.
But my journey is a bit longer in STEAM education. And I'm applying this whole education like in my medicine also.
Yeah.
Because I built up my own website myself, my YouTube channel, my Facebook, everything. So if a person with a medicine background or even simple with an arts background, we do have examples and success stories like this. Like students when they are have a passion of dance, even STEAM applies to dance as well. Different postures, different things, and they're applying with the like identifying AI, the movements of the body as well as the robots. So everything is combined, not separate. So it is basically picking up their passion and working on it.
Okay. So this is involving a lot of originality also.
Yes.
Bringing about all aspects together and making it a whole.
Hello, ma'am. You are a physician, right? In Ayurveda. So could you please share your journey of that aspect, like after 12th, how you got into it from there to here, the journey?
Okay. So basically, what I told is that I had a passion to learn from the beginning. And during my childhood, I wanted to become everything, like from even flying a robot or going to space and like operating everything, solving everything. So my passion was to find out, like I was like inquisitive in everything, asking teachers. That is in every student. Actually, basically, I was a very shy girl before. But when I identified that asking questions, even if that question doesn't have an answer, that everybody laughs, no matter. So we teach, like we tell our students not to shy, but to ask any question, no matter others laugh. So learning from failures. So when I got into college, so the method was just to go and write the examination, but I was not interested in that. So I started my clinical practice early in the first year. I started going to the OPDs with doctors, and luckily I had mentors who allowed me to go with them. So during the course of learning, we were learning anatomy, and I was actually seeing how anatomy works in identifying and diagnosing a patient. So during that course, and luckily after 10 years of my practice, I landed ki I have to make a web page or a YouTube channel. I need that. But starting with a Facebook page, I started my Facebook page and landed up with many queries, but I couldn't answer that. So I myself thought what to do, how to answer each and every patient. So I landed up researching. Luckily I found a mentor to in Steam Vision, whom I was mentoring with them to a place. There is a Shalimar village where there is a center where students from each government schools, they come to study. We started a center there based on STEAM education there. So while volunteering, I also learned these technologies. So by the problem solving approach, they have some very interesting queries that why not, ma'am, this should happen, why this shouldn't happen. So while these questions, the other way around, we landed up researching how things happen and how we should give a solution. So by learning each and every technology, even in medicine also, like one of my students who had a chapter in nutrition, like anemia, vitamins. So it was very difficult for her. She came to me, you are a doctor, ma'am, can you teach me this? So instead of teaching her, I told her, why not you make an app out of it? So she learned the app development and landed up in a beautiful app, which is Eat What You Need. In that, she had to study that technology as well as that chapter, that what vitamin deficiency causes such diseases, and with the app giving solution and using all BMI also. So she learned technology as well as the chapter. So there was no need to look at the books and find out what nutrition chapter belongs. So she scored much in that. So she was in 7th grade. Now she is in the 2nd year of engineering college. So she had a medicine background also, and she's learning, applying biotechnologies also. So we do have such chapters with us.
All right. So, ma'am, when you graduated and when you founded STEAM Education?
Yeah, actually, my graduation year is in 2000. And I landed in STEAM Education is 7 years back. 7-8 years back.
Ma'am, I'm a dental surgeon and I graduated in February 2018. So it's 5 years. And if you say, because we start doing patients from the 3rd year itself. So,
yeah, just
so 3rd year itself. So you can say like it's been 10 years into dentistry. But I can, if you graduate in like 2000, you are super senior, and I can really imagine how much experience you will be having.
Thank you. So, Dr. Jasmine, you can use these technologies as you are into it, you have an interest, and you can apply. Like, actually, the thing is, we learn what has been already done in the school, but it's not. It's very vast. Like, we have to have a learning approach to seeing what is happening and create our own.
Right,
So
ma'am, I'm quite sure that you would never have taught the basics of business or how to open a business in our medical or dental college. That is why I was here to get the network and to understand the basics, because we never taught even how to open a dental clinic. It's not even discussed in our 5-year or 5.5 year.
Yeah, that's true. So the other thing is that, yeah, you are said something interesting. Like when I landed up making a startup, so during that journey, I also learned how to register, how to make accounts, balance sheets, how to pitch, how to manage a finance, everything. So if any learning, a small learning gives you certain failures, give you a lifelong learning as well. So we also have, during our counseling sessions, we do that failures not to fear. Failures have to come. They have to. Otherwise, there is no success.
How much does this program cost?
Actually, as Rahulji, we have two chapters. Like we have a socio-economic company. Like during the workshops, we run our social chapters along with that. So, being a part of incubation, the programs which are run under with IGDTU, they have very what do you call minimized or what do you cost? Yeah. It varies from like if you are using a very expensive hardware that might cost much. So that varies from days. Yeah. We are working with schools as well. We are running programs with the schools. As I told, we are now running a program of innovation in teaching with schools also this year. We are working with teachers as well.
This is some new concept because most schools don't do all this.
So they are also doing as a pilot. Actually, they were like, we used to do workshops there and they were amazed at how students are developing interest. So other way around, why not teachers have such a creative approach? So they told us to run a program for that also.
Okay.
Ma'am, which year you founded STEAM Education?
Yeah, can you please repeat the question?
Ma'am, which year you founded STEAM Education?
Yeah, we founded STEAM Edu Learning in 2018.
Oh, all right.
Any more questions? Anything about STEAM education, STEAM Edu, or even you can go to our webpage and to the YouTube channel as well. And any more questions, you can directly reach out to me, dropping a mail, or the number is already visible on the screen. So may I know all about you? Like Dr. Jasmine is a dental surgeon, I think, and Komala ji.
I am a retired teacher now, and I'm running an learning center where I'm teaching maths to students.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very interesting concept.
Oh, that's
now
nice.
I will get in touch with you.
You know, ma'am, math
And-
actually applies to everything. Even medicine also, measurement, like we do surgery. In Dr. Jasmine, maths matters much.
Yeah.
You agree, Jasmine? So everything, like no subject is a wide apart. We can say you're not learning. But learning math, the formulas, the other way around. Like one example I can give you. Like my students of second grade was trying to learn tables. But like we did something like one of our mentors did totally opposite. She brought apples and just distributed that if I give you, I have to give 2 to this, 2 to this, 2 to this. How many apples I will have? So that is the other way around. So innovative ways are there to do things.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, it just struck me that like yours, I can, bring in technology more rather than just teaching maths like this.
Just to correct you, it is STEAM education, not technology. Technology is a part.
No, use of technology.
Yes, use of technologies.
Use of
yes, of course. Yeah.
So do you have some syllabus or something, or like follow some syllabus, or it's like problem solving?
See, when we are talking of syllabus, we are fixing the ideas. It's out of syllabus, out of the box learning. So we don't follow any curriculum and we just work what students bring to us.
Okay, so
the programs are pre-decided, but the approach, the learning is out of the box.
Yes, problems are can you repeat this, ma'am?
Actually, we don't, if syllabus bounds the innovation mind of a student, of a learner, because if you are making a curriculum, you are binding those thoughts. But if you are letting it open through design thinking sessions, through brainstorming, through ideation, lot of things come. Then in team, like the mentor doesn't know what student will ask today or what he'll be landing, what answers. It's a teamwork. They research together. So it's
Okay.
out of the box with no fixed curriculum. Yes, we do work on team education.
So with this chat GPT now,
Yeah.
then students may not need us.
Actually, ma'am, the transformation is happening every day.
Yeah.
So we don't need people who know the technology, but who can build the technology.
Yes.
So that is a programmer's mind.
Correct. That.
And the answer lies in STEAM education.
Yeah.
So I hope, am I clear to all? Any more
Yes.
questions? Any more questions?
So how do you convince the parents, like they are sending their
that is
Yeah.
also our innovation. Every day we innovate counseling the parents, like different approaches are there. But when students and parents come to a workshop, like students are there, when they see the transformation, like we do run demo classes with them also. So in 1 or 2 sessions, when they see the transformation in their children, then they come and discuss with us. And when they feel, actually not see, they feel this team education, they are convinced.
Okay. So initially the parents also come with the student for the demo class.
No, the parents don't come. They see the transformation in the students and they will come to our office. We do present them whatever stories we have or whatever chapters we are running. They see that and they allow their child to dive into it. Like they have to give consent. And during this course, they see changes and transformation in the students. And when their child is progressing, other parents are also like, see what difference they are making, and
Yeah.
then they bring them.
Correct.
So it's
some
gradual.
specialized
Yeah.
some specialized training for the trainers is given, or the
As I told, that is not at all training. It's mentoring.
okay.
So we have to remove this training word. And as I told that we are also learning running programs for teachers as well. For the mentorship program, we have STEAM educator programs. We have innovation in teaching programs. We are running that.
Are there any videos of the workshop on YouTube so that we can see?
Yeah, you can just log into our website and our YouTube channel.
Okay.
I hope the screen is visible to all.
Yeah, it's the thank you slide.
Yeah.
Yes.
So our Facebook page are on the STEAM Edu website. You can just log into it and watch the videos as well. So much. If any queries, you can reach out to me directly.
Sure.
Any more questions? So as you can see the noise behind me, because I am right now sitting in my office and the students are just learning over technologies. Hope I could show some of us here in the office. They are preparing for a competition. They are working on robotics, International Robotics Championship. They are working for that in a team. Zurvan is there? Zurvan is there? Zurvan, come here. I love Anki. Zurvan, are you there? Okay.
What is the age group of the people?
Come here. This is a young programmer. Say hello. Hello.
Hi, Durveed.
There are some people to meet you. You can tell about your journey. Can you? Who is it? Yeah, Steve. Tell about yourself. Hello. In which class standard you were and how you started learning STEAM education. So, what you have learned? What you are doing today?
I just started with code.org and I did a little of Roblox. And now I'm watching the FTC Power Play tournament.
So he has developed a lot of apps. He's working on robotics. He has learned AI. Like he's applying AI on robotics, and he was in second standard, but his parents opted for homeschooling because his questions were much that were not answered in the school. So he started STEAM education here, and he's a part of an error team which is above 7, but he's volunteering them in robotics. So such type of students, actually talent lies in students, but we are not able to undefine. So we do have such students as well.
Congratulations and best of luck,
Great.
Thank
dear.
you. So any more questions from anybody?
And do you feel like our school education system should be changed?
Yes, I told you we are not changing. Actually, we are initially when there were gurukuls, was there such education? No. So we are going back to our history, not creating a new one. It's in our roots. So we are going back to nature.
We are just reviving them.
Yeah, we are reviving. So we are hoping that every school or everything, there shouldn't be a pressure to only score marks, but to learn and apply that knowledge in problem solving. When that mindset comes in each and every student, nobody will need job. We are on a mission to create job creators, not job seekers.
Right.
Because nation needs more entrepreneurs, more programmers, more innovators.
Right.
So any more questions? Anything to discuss? You can just subscribe our YouTube channel and have stories. Like we do have short videos on our workshops we have run till now.
Sure, ma'am.
And we do have social chapters as well. Like recently we started STEAM education online class in Mandapam. There's a school in Rameshwaram, Mandapam. That is the school of great missile man APJ Abdul Kalam had school education. That is in Mandapam. So when a mentor from US landed up there, he landed up seeing that school. That school is literally like they are running the education like there are no classroom, no tables. They're only daris. And the thing is that when we approach them, they only speak in Tamil and no English in between. So when we started the first class online, that was like, how could we teach them? Like, how could we like talk to them? But luckily, they understood something and online, and now they are working on short apps online in Mandapam. So we do have a chapter in like in north is Ladakh, where the temperature almost goes down to -40. So we are running a program with them also, and luckily 3 girls from the by the under the Honorable Vice Chancellor Amita Ma'am, 3 girls from IGDT also had opportunity to go there with us and ran a program 5-day like STEAM education camp there with the students in Ladakh. And we do have a chapter in Assam also, where like it's a community, Sadani, a group of slaves of tea gardeners. So we do a chapter that they haven't even know what laptop is. now they are programming, and they have been with us to Pune as well, and they earn an award also there. Like now they are programming, they are thinking of like they're opting for education more. Even learning a basic education was a very great challenge there. So the other part is that we are students from our STEAM Edu, they have an opportunity to go with us during the outreaches to such places, because the problems are not here, the problems are there. So the problem solving approach comes automatically when we feel the pain of these areas also. So that is the thing, every student should have such mindset.
And who all can associate with you as a mentor if anybody interested?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay,
You can
so
just connect with me on my WhatsApp number. This is my WhatsApp number. I'll share the screen again. Just to connect.
sure.
Yeah, you can connect on this number and just drop me a message and we'll connect back to you, ma'am.
Sure, thank you.
I hope you got my number.
Yes, we have noted.
Because we are associated with an organizer also, we were mentored by STEAM Vision. So we have a STEAM Vision Foundation which is running all these social chapters. So I'll just connect you with them. And can have drop me a hi or something with your name on my WhatsApp number. I'll get back to you. We'll get back to you.
Sure.
Any more queries? Anything? And in fact, we are connecting with most of the GDS members as well. Like we have mentors from all over India, all over the world, and they are from every field, from scientists to doctors, technology, art teachers to dance teachers as well. So there's a very large group we are running under GDS. So anybody who's interested, just give me a call or a message on the WhatsApp. We'll get back to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
One
Thank you
more
very
thing
much.
is, one
Yes.
more thing I want to ask you, ma'am. So
Yeah.
how you identify child's interest? Suppose a child comes to your center. Okay, now you are counseling the child that, okay, you should go for this STEAM education. And all the programs you're having. So in the counseling, how you identify the child's interest?
Actually, the student, what you call, is exposed to each and everything what we have.
Yes.
And with his interest, he chooses a domain, but he has the learning of all, like working with all with a team. But he takes the lead of one thing, whatever passion he has, whatever approach his problem needs, the best solution is. So he works out in team and landed up in anything. According to
Suppose a
his
fifth standard student comes to your center. So you're counseling. So in the first counseling, how you decide that, okay, this.
We don't decide, the student.
Okay.
The team decides. We decision is
Means the mentor will identify. The mentor will identify his interest.
The skills, the interest as well. Yes. And even the student will also identify his skills as well during the working.
That's what I want to know. How that process is basically.
So for that you have to come to our office. We'll sit in a team and explain you. We'll discuss.
Okay, ma'am. Sure. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rahulji. for bringing me here, and I do hope
Thank you, ma'am, for coming.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
To participants, please stay connected here. We will start next session in at 5 p.m. in next 10 minutes.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Hanji. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
हेलो राहुल जी, कैसे हैं?
हेलो सर, एकदम ठीक।
शैल वी स्टार्ट?
हाँ जी सर, बस 1 मिनट दीजिए, मैंने ग्रुप में मैसेज तो डाल दिया था।
ठीक ठीक
1-2 मिनट में स्टार्ट करते हैं सर, बस।
ठीक है, ठीक।
हाँ जी, good evening to the participants again. Now your session will be taken by Kshitij Sinha ji. Sir is incubating with us as well as in our university, supporting us in many other things. Sir is running a very successful company and will be able to guide you in much better manner. Now sir, this session actually आज हमारे पूरा दिन session हमारे incubatees के साथ ही थे. Incubatees I will not say, senior members, senior incubatee जो हमेशा हमारे साथ हैं. तो they are guiding them on various things apart from this. So their questions can be more on other things also. So
Okay.
sir, I hand over this to you. You know about the program we are running. This session is part of the same program, Women Acceleration Entrepreneurship Program, which we
जी,
are running, sir.
जी. Thank you, Rahul ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And it
sir.
is indeed a great opportunity that you people have extended. So I extend my deepest congratulations to Anveshan Foundation, to Aurora sir, to you, and to everyone involved. And also thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll just share my screen. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I would be mainly speaking about why should startups invest in design. Design is actually very critical for any innovation. And through this presentation, we would be showing you across that how design could play a very critical role when we talk about innovation or when we talk about coming out with some revolutionary products. Design in itself is a very long process. It comes and it involves many iterations also. So it is very important to keep invested into the design process so that the real output, what we have envisioned in the initial stages, come out exactly the manner in which we wanted. So through different example, we have picked up a case study of Apple iPhone. We would be talking about that to show why it was important and how come iPhone actually replaced the entire iPhone proved to be a game changer when it came down to the smartphones and were the initiators, and why Steve Jobs was very much respected in this. So yeah, so for design and innovation, these things are very critical, both in the importance of being invested into the design comes out with the idea of since startups, in the initial stages, their prime motto is to bring out the revenues. But apart from the revenues, one angle which is often missed is creating a niche kind of an area for your own product, which definitely comes out from deep research and the design investments that we make in the initial stages. And it involves key components like desirability, feasibility, and viability. The innovation actually is the intersection which comes out from these three circles. Desirability mainly talks about what makes sense to people and for people. Viability is about what is likely to become part of the sustainable business model. Feasibility is about what is functionally possible within the foreseeable future. So whenever these three circles meet or intersect, the innovations actually are derived from that component. It involves a lot of research, brainstorming, prototyping. So nowhere there is a set pattern that if we try for once, then only the prototype is set and we have to follow that prototype. The point is, we should, in design, the process is such that it helps you, create new avenues with each attempt that you make with the prototype, with each attempt that you make with the research, with each attempt that you make with the brainstorm. It helps you refine your prototype, it helps you refine your products, and that's how you actually reach up to the stage of a master product, which is which can be proved to be a game changer. Design thinking is definitely the most critical component. Design thinking is a way forward. Design tools and processes can generate innovative ideas, improve business performances, and help growth. Good design differentiate a product from the competition. So all of you must have been, exposed to the terms like blue ocean marketing strategy and red ocean marketing strategy. Red ocean mainly talks about products like the FMCG products, wherein many competitors are there and you are putting in your products and then you're competing. So that market mainly involves you with a similar kind of a product, but again, you have to pitch it differently. Just like what Patanjali did actually at one time, selling everything through that particular marketing pitch, as compared to the other FMCG available goods at that time. Whereas the blue ocean strategy talks about creating your own niche. So if a market is not there, but you have to create a market. So it involves sensitizing users, sensitizing your potential customers about all the things which are associated with your products and why should they actually go in for and invest in your products in the future. So it is about creating your own space and then pitching in your product there. So design thinking usually takes care of having that space, visualizing that space, and then putting up product accordingly into that space. So good design differentiate a product from the competition. It contributes to a better user experience, higher customer satisfaction, and an enhanced brand image. Design is starting to be considered as a way of thinking which can not only drive business success, but also be used to solve complex human issues. Just in the previous slide, we have talked about desirability, feasibility, and viability. So this is that component wherein we are talking about business success because it has the potential to solve complex human issues. And through the example which we have quoted, we would be highlighting that too. Apart from that, we would also be discussing about our own business idea, what we are doing and how we are actually tackling various issues related to complex human problems. Businesses have slowly come around to recognize that design can be used as a differentiator to respond to changing trends in consumer behaviors. So if we have to, it is for startups, it is not only about getting the initial funding, it is also about having that vision of sailing through and making a long-term kind of a strategy works best for any organization as such. Fortune 500 names such as Apple, Microsoft, Disney, and IBM have demonstrated the intrinsic value of design thinking as a competitive advantage that impacts the bottom line and drives business growth. So design thinking not only gives an edge over other existing products. It also provides a competitive advantage, which definitely drives the business growth. Great designers are storytellers. It is very important that we should also learn the art of storytelling. They are good communicators who know how to share their ideas effectively and make them real. And to be a good communicator, to share our ideas effectively, and to be a good storytellers, we need certain practices to be made into our day-to-day life. So just like how various other skills are enhanced, design also requires certain inputs which needs to be worked upon on a day-to-day basis, so that that skills is actually harnessed to the potential, real potential that exists with the products also. They find solutions. They listen, observe, understand context and how design will be integrated into the world. They have empathy, are meticulous, perceptive, and open to change. So these are very important components, important words which are there in existence, and we should always be mindful of that. So I was talking about that it requires certain kind of practice, certain kind of skill sets which needs to be honed, and which are not directly as such, told to us, but we can actually learn it through our day-to-day life. So things like empathy, things like having a perceptive, and the observation skills, the understanding of the context, everything. All these things needs to be curated and learned. Smart companies known that investing in their business doesn't cost, rather it pays. So why is this slide really important? This is mainly because in the pressure of coming out with the different targets that every company has to meet, we often lose our focus from the real issues. So if we remain invested in design, if we remain invested in our idea, then it is very important not to compromise onto certain aspects. And at the same time, it is important to know that the businesses, it may not give you the return as such in the early stages, but it will pay. And if we can have that patience, if we can develop that maturity, that yes, in future it is going to pay, if we have that trust on our ideas, then it will definitely turn the wheel. What does design do? Design thinking doesn't guarantee better products or solution. It drives experimentations. Now, this is the critical part which we all need to know, that, other than guaranteeing the product, which is a lot of us focus on the end product, that end product should be really very nice and it should look a class apart and all those components. But the real component which needs a greater kind of focus is the process, that the end, before reaching onto the end product, what is the process which we have followed? So that process, the design process, definitely involves lots of experimentations. It involves many data gathering, analysis part also. It also empowers designers to view their daily challenges in new ways. So moving from the standard model to one following user-centered design process is a smart way to invigorate any organization to be faster, more organized, and more creative, all of which in turn drives a greater return on investment. So if we do not have a component of research and development, if we do not have a component of experimentation, if we do not have component of data gathering and analysis into our process of preparing different pitches or moving from one stage to the other stage of a startup, then the uniqueness of a product which is expected out of the startup may lag onto certain significant levels. So that is something which we all have to concentrate on. What do the leading companies have in common? So there were countless smartphones before Apple iPhones. You all must have heard about them. Most commonly used was the BlackBerry Office phone, which was making rounds at that time, just before Apple's iPhone was launched. There were taxis before Uber also, social networks before Facebook. There were plenty of vacuum cleaners before Dyson and electric cars before Tesla. All of these companies share one thing. It is their relentless focus on the customer and delivering the best user experience possible, which is deeply rooted in their design thinking methodology. So none, if you take up the example of iPhone or Uber, or for that matter, Facebook, Dyson or Tesla, none actually compromised with the design thinking methodology. So these were the integral part of the the offering which these companies actually brought out, and they proved to be revolutionary in all sense. So it is very important to invest in the research and development. It is very important to send your product through that entire process, and this is where the role of incubation centers comes to be very handy. And Anveshan Foundation has been one such incubator across Delhi, I would say across India, which actually provides this opportunity of experimentation. It provides you opportunity of taking out time, before the product is actually launched out or scaled up further. So we must capitalize onto the opportunity extended to us in all possible manner, and should make it very capitalizing onto it. We should actually have a very strategic approach when we talk about what we intend to do in say suppose 6 months or 1 year or so. And a large part definitely goes into thinking or design thinking or experimentation. So if we do not have it in our timeline as of now, it is very important to integrate one. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of people, the possibilities of technology, and the requirement for business success. Why is Apple considered to be a revolution? It has various components like, 1958, you must have seen some of the transistors. 2001 came out the iPod. Apple, the iPhone, which actually replaced the BlackBerry market. If you must have seen the BlackBerry phones, I am not sure how many of you have personally used it, but you must have been aware of it. It was all, physical keypad, which was existing earlier, which the iPhone completely changed altogether when they came out with the iPhone, with their first offering. So the main concept or the things which they concentrated upon was coming out with a product which can be felt by the users. So that is what Steve Jobs in his speech also mentioned, that it is the power of touch that he wanted to offer. So many people say that it was a great marketing pitch, which he actually made and rehearsed for it to a great extent. But few of us actually know that there is a many years of labor which actually went before coming out with such kind of a product. Everything was thought through. Even the icons which are there onto the iPhone, what would be the size of it, how the screen would be divided, what would the keyboard look like, the physical touches. The main area the keyboard would look like means it is just a replication of the typewriter keyboard which we had earlier. So they continued doing it. There was a debate whether to go in for simple ABCD or QRTC, the typewriter kind of a keyboard. So they went ahead because people were of the habit of, using the typewriters and then onto the computers and then again onto the phone. So they carried on the decision to carry out with the same kind of a keyboard was very critical at that time. So, but a lot of before taking that decision, a lot of brainstorming happened, a lot of research happened, and a lot of prototypes were developed, which were debated upon, which were tabled, And after many pros and cons, the decision was taken also about what we today known as the user interface dialogues and everything, that what would be the size of the screen or the phone, or what would be the size of the icons. What will happen if we touch the icon? What will happen if we touch the keyboard is very slight, and what will happen if we touch it? So a letter would pop up. This was a unique feature which was added, so that you are aware of what is being typed and you do not make mistakes. So all these small detailing, this was very critical. So it was not a product like एक phone बना दिया and उसमें ही हमने सारे we integrated all the components of icon and touch. It was beyond the touches. It was beyond the experience that it was able to give to the users, which was very critical at that time. So these things were not possible without proper research, without proper design thinking. And there was a dedicated team which was actually working for more than 3-4 years before they actually came out with such revolutionary product. Apple devices are so intuitive and easy to use throughout their lifespan. They have been able to set themselves apart due to their ability and willingness to make decisions on behalf of their user. So what exactly does the user think or would like to use or would like to consider or would be accepting, more than willing to accept? This is a pulse which somehow was known to them, and they actually completely invested into it. So they were able to pull out and they were able to generate beautiful products out of it. Most people make the mistake of thinking design is what it looks like. People think it's this veneer that the designers are handed with box and told, make it look good. That's not what we think design is. It's not just what it looks like, it feels like. Design is how it works. Steve Jobs, these were the exact statements of the Steve Jobs. So he was very much invested. He was very much particular about how design make a product work. So at the core of any offering, it could be any service, it could be any product. At the core of it, it has to work. The design needs to resolve how the product works. So that was the main idea. This is primarily the reason why a CNN story had the world's best designer picking the 12 best designs in the last century, and 2 of them were by Apple. The MP3 player has already existed when Apple created the iPod. It just came up with a better version of an MP3 player. Tablets have already been in existence when Apple came out with its own version, the iPad. Similarly, the smartphone is not an Apple creation. It's just the Apple successfully revolutionized the concept of a smartphone when it launched its iPhone. The first was the Apple Mac in 1984, which seamlessly combined outstanding software and hardware into the experience. The second was the first ever iPod, which redefined the revolutionized what the world knew of an MP3 player. So this is the timeline of Apple releases, which you can actually see. But the time at which the first iPhone was launched, it was pitched in such a manner that it is a combination of different devices, like combination of the iPod, combination of the navigation device, and combination of a simple phone. So it was a combination, and that's how it was sold. And along with that, many customized, many personalized components also gathered around in that particular pitch of Steve Jobs, if you are able to go through it. So in this timeline, it is very interesting to see that, Apple was actually, the IPO was launched in somewhere around December 1980. And somewhere around 2007 is when the first iPhone was launched. You can see that the graph in itself, it takes a different, trajectory altogether once the iPhone was launched. And before that, there were many products which Apple actually came out. So after the iPhone, it has been majorly restricted to the iPhone, iPads, and MacBook and all, with the App Store, through which different applications are being provided. But before that, they tried many products and they failed at some time, they succeeded at some time. And it was a very long journey, if you see in terms of timeline, like from 1980s to 2007, almost 27 years were invested into simplifying the design. And what you see as an end product of the output of a iPhone is a labor of all that 27 years which was involved, and the learnings which came out from the various failures of the products offered by the Apple. The possibilities for innovations are not by any means exhaustive. Technological development is always offering new opportunities for innovative design, but innovative design should always be in tandem with innovative technology and can never be an end in itself. A good design should be innovative. A good design makes a product useful. A good design is substantially on a higher side on an aesthetic scale. A good design makes a product understandable. A good design is obtrusive. A good design is honest. A good design is long lasting. A good design is thorough down the last detail. Good design is environmentally friendly. Good design is as little design as possible. So simplicity, we say simplicity, we have to simplify things. A good design really has to be very simple. Good design should be understandable by many people. So a good design has many components which needs to be ticked. And if we tick on to all the check boxes against these very features or very parameters of a good design, then we are in fact covering all the greater details of making our product a world-class product and a global kind of a product. So that was a brief about what we can expect or should accept about the design thinking. Now I'll just take you quickly through the family script, the offering of the Prarabdha Info Solutions Private Limited. This we have created under the Incubation Center, IGDTUW Innovation Foundation at Family Script. And this is a offering wherein we are actually scripting the stories of the family. So what do we understand by scripting stories of a family? So most of the talks you must have had in your own homes, with your own family members. Whenever we sit down together to have a cup of tea, whenever we go out for recreation or on a trip, we often tend to share many nostalgic moments of our childhood, many past days memories of how our parents used to be with us, or how we as a sibling used to have fun. So all those things are passed from generation to generation, and with each generation there are many inputs which is actually available and which are invested in a family. So a family growth, or for that matter a person who is able to achieve so much, derives their inspiration, derives their source of recognition from the efforts which has gone into the family structure through various generations. So we thought that it was very much essential to document these components, the intangible things, the nostalgic memories. All these things are documented and presented to the user at the most testing times of their life. Then it might prove to be a very important source of inspiration during the testing times. So that is where the person actually derives their strength from. So we are very particular about that. This powerhouse, the inspiration powerhouse that we are talking about, is how can we create a product out of this inspirational powerhouse? That was the main component which we actually wanted to experiment, which we wanted to crack. So that's how we tried many prototypes. I mean, you may name n number of merchandising products which we thought of, and after going through many rounds of iterations and many successful trials or unsuccessful trials or many prototypes, we somehow formulated bringing out a very innovative kind of a product, which is a family book, and which comprises of family stories. And it is again the intangible components of the stories, the memories which often would have gone lost, are preserved and are given a shape of beautiful scripts, beautiful stories. And we create a complete transformatory kind of a family book and offer it to the client so that they could actually refer it a number of times during their lifetime and can cherish it forever, the memories which has actually made all of us. So that's where the tagline also of the family script came up, which was create, cherish, and celebrate. So it is about creating your family stories and cherishing them and celebrating in the same manner. So often it is said that if you see a family, you would get a story in every family. So each story has a scale of, to be converted into a successful Bollywood movie. So it has everything. It has, all the components of a good Bollywood masala movie. So why not document it and see how things goes? So that was the idea. So the core offering was revolving around the creating the family connection, celebrating the strengths, identity, which actually motivates individual, and cherishing through an online repository of family stories. So this was the core offering. And these are some of our products, like the one which you see here is one of a family book, which we had actually onto the left hand side was an anniversary book, which we presented to a couple who are actually in UK, and they wanted to celebrate a 5-year anniversary. So they made their book from us, and we were able to convert their story into a beautiful collection, of how they met, how the initial 5 years went into, what they actually celebrated together. All those components are there in that book. Onto the right hand side, some of the glimpses are from another book which talks about the different recipes that are very much prevalent in one of the family. So the ingredients and the how they are actually made, everything is captured there. One such book or one such project which came to us was a book dedicated by a sister to their elder brother. This book was made at the time of retirement of a brother. So this brother has actually taken care of the entire family, all the sisters and everything, and the elder brother was retiring. So the sister who got this book made wanted to relive the moments, the contribution, and wanted to, acknowledge the contribution of the elder brother into the family. So they got this book made from us, and it captures all the interesting stories from their childhood of living together in a small government apartment in Akidwai Nagar up to the stage they have reached till now, where they are retiring and all. This was again onto the left hand side. You can see one of the product which talks about the relationship of a father and a child. So this book is very close to the offering which we wanted to achieve, and actually this project was very demanding in terms of the father was often confused of, was not sure of whether the reasons that he is actually given to his child. The child may used to ask many questions like, why are we doing this? Why are we not doing that? So the father had all the answers ready, but those answers had an influence from his own childhood. So there are two components which was going all together throughout the book. One was the modern day structure, modern day questions which the child used to ask. And the other one was the old age, the influencer kind of a component which the parent had in mind from his own childhood. So we somehow mixed both, and carried it through the entire book, so that this book, once it was ready for the son to understand why they actually did what they were doing. Another book onto the right hand side, topmost corner, was our first book in the Hindi script, and it had beautiful chapterizations like of good movies of the past. So we made illustrations all around that. Just a second, huh? Yeah. So onto the right hand side, topmost corner, you can see the, our first attempt with the Hindi kind of a book. This book was, the client was a daughter-in-law who actually wanted to gift to their parent-in-law, mother and father-in-law on their 50th anniversary. So this was again the anniversary book, and it had all the chapters right from how they actually met up till this stage, how they have actually ensured and have actually taken care of the entire family and helped people reach their true potential wherever they are. So these were some of the example. One more book which was very interesting was about the birthday book, which you can see onto your left hand side of the screen. This talks about the story of 28-year girl who was earlier very introvert, very shy, and used to remain within the shell, but somehow unleashed her findings, or unleashed her real soul as that person came all along. So that was again the birthday gift which we did for that person. The right hand side component which you see is the various this is the wedding book which talks about the marriage of Guptas and Sinhas also in that component. So this book onto the right hand side actually has both the family stories combined together, like Guptas from one side and Sinhas from one side, and it is actually meeting in between. So that is where the that's how the the girl side and the boy side meets. So the idea behind coming with the wedding book was many marriages usually happens, but they happen in such hush-hush manner that people often do not know too much about the families, each of the families we are marrying into. So it was conceived, or we felt that it was a very good idea if people are introduced right at the initial stage before their marriage about the families that they are marrying into, because it is not the individual which we marry in India. In India, we marry the entire family. So why not introduce the culture, the tradition, the the various people who are important to one particular family to the new person who was going to join that family. So that was the idea about the wedding book. Yeah, and this is some of the glimpses of that book, which talks about the, so it has all different components of migration map, the family tree, the traditional stuff, the recipes which were celebrated in each of the family, the songs, the traditional festivities that are celebrated in the families. So this was a treasure house for them, and everything merged in between. So onto the left hand side top, you are able to see the cover. So the book actually combines in between. The idea is not to live forever, but to create something that will. This saying goes very well with us, and we resonate with this. And that's what we have always tried to do, like to create a product, to create and work on the idea. And we are definitely not giving on to it easily till the true potential of it is actually realized. So that is what we want to focus, we wanted to focus upon, and that is what we are actually focusing about. how to create that will last something for the entire lifetime. So yeah, that is all from my side. Any questions if you want to ask?
So firstly, I couldn't resist. That is why I raised the hand that your logo is so beautiful. It's one of the best logos I have seen.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And so like how if a person fills the form at your site for getting this book done, now what can you please take us through the journey, like what are the next steps that how you end up reaching making the books that we have shared?
So right now we have, have done all the products in a individual pitch kind of a format. So we have got in touch with the customers whosoever wants to get the books developed. We contact them and we first of all listen to their requirements. We listen to their stories, and then we see the potential, and we try to bring out the script in such a manner that it resonates or are linked or matches their requirement at that time. So if some person wants to get a book dedicatedly made for their mother or for their parents, then they share their requirements with us. And after listening to their stories, we come out with a script, and that's how we make a pitch to them. Once they are okay with the pitch, then all the data sharing and everything happens, which happens in a very confidential manner as of now, and are limited to a very restricted team which we have. So at any time on one particular project, around 6 to 7 people are working. Some are working on the content, some are working on the illustration, some are working on the data collection, data sorting, some are working on the coordination, project coordination, everything. So yeah, it is a dedicated team which works on it. But as of now, we get in touch with the prospective clients once we receive their leads, one through our website, or second through the personal, whisper marketing. That is how the product has actually managed to get in so many NRI clients in the initial stages. Post COVID or during COVID, I would say we have somewhat slowed down because we want to scale the entire stuff in a very big manner. And certain things are there in our mind, which we are working on simultaneously. But before we do that, till now, it has been, one-to-one kind of a component only. I'm not sure whether I
Okay.
have answered your questions, but
Yeah, you have, sir. So you get into like this is self-publishing.
yes, this is self-publishing. Yeah.
Okay. And so when you founded this family script?
So this was somewhere in 2017-18 that we established the company. But Family Script has been into our mind right from 2015, I would say. So we have been working on it. The idea has taken some shape. Some of the products which we have just included in this are just one component of it. So there are n number of other products also which we have thought through, but we haven't done it. I mean, offered it to the people as such. We have just
Okay.
prepared the various prototypes.
Right.
But
Sir, so
right
can
now,
you share, if that's okay, your average cost range? Like, of course, it might depend on the script as well and how much the work is getting into and the costing, but just a range.
so I mean, it is very this is the toughest part which we had to answer. But again, you have yourself answered that question pretty well, that it depends on the requirement, plus the occasion, plus the kind of finishing that is expected out of the product. So everything culminates onto it, and that decides the pricing. But bare minimum, the simple copy actually starts from 25,000 onwards.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have this question that if you go for a publishing of a book, you know, you print multiple copies and you sell out, and then how you get the money? Isn't publishing one particular book with the specific content, I mean, costly to you, to the printing things?
It is actually costly. I mean, the cost of making a book is very much there. So right now, we do not do multiple copies as such. Maximum what has been asked from us is 2 to 3 copies, one product. So printing, you may not be the topmost category of the price cut associated with the book, but designing is. And because the illustrators, the content writers, and the graphic designers, they their man-hour involvement is very much, and because each book is customized, the story is new every time, so we have to put in extra labor. So that's where the main component of the costing comes in. Printing as such, you may print it 1 copy or 10 copies, that won't be too much. Yeah.
Sir, do you provide the soft copy also apart from the hard copy?
Yeah, I mean, the entire document, everything is the right of the user. So this actually belongs to them, not to us.
Yeah.
So you go for the copyrights thing, right? I mean,
No, we don't go for the
not in-
copyright. The copyright rests with the user. I mean, the clients. It is
Right.
their data. We cannot take copyright on their data.
It goes like
Right.
Bhagwan, you publish a book overnight and it becomes, a mass demand by the next morning.
No. So it is not like that we come out with, bookstore kind of a book. It is a book which is meant for a family to be celebrated amongst the family. It depends on them if they want to sell it to or open up their story to the entire world. It entirely depends on them. But till now, we haven't faced any such client. Whosoever has approached us want to have one collection for their own family, which is restricted in views. I mean, they cannot open up. Their stories are very sensitive, they have stories of struggle, they have stories of happiness, they have stories of celebrations, everything, and there are very private moments also in the stories. So they may not feel comfortable to share it with the entire world, but at the same time they would like to have it collected in their family, passed on through generation to generation, so that it becomes an inspirational kind of a powerhouse for them. So that is the idea. We do not want to intend to sell it overnight and make it the bestseller or something like that. That is definitely not there.
So the people involved in your team, as you mentioned, the illustrators, copywriters, content writers, or the publishing house, or the printing thing, do you employ them full time, or how does it goes depending on the demands?
So design team, the entire team is ours. Yes, we have a team which actually works on it. But yes, their association with the project is from project to project. But at the same time, like I was mentioning, that it is not only one single product that we have been working upon, and it is not only one single idea that we have been working upon. If they are not working on family script for that matter, they are working on some other simultaneous project also, which we are working under Prarabdha. So Prarabdha is the startup company incubated under Anveshan Foundation, and family script is one such offering. So we are working on 1-2 more offerings. So all the team members are totally invested and are involved. I think one of the team member, Avantika here, is the final year student of BARC architecture program. So she is also there in the meeting. I asked her purposely to join the meeting. So yeah, so that's how everything works.
So many a time you have to be very delicate, right?
Yes,
There will be some black sheep in every family.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, I mean, there has been many instances like the book which I was mentioning about, which the father wanted to give to his child.
Yes.
That book was very sensitive and almost took us 4 months to complete that book. So the amount of labor which actually went into digging out the story was very crucial, and it it demanded a specific amount of, patience from our end. It is not overnight that people cannot straight away sit in front of you and can share their
And yeah,
family stories all of a sudden. So you need to build up that, rapport with them. You need to bring down to that comfort level so that they are okay and they have that trust with you. Otherwise, it becomes a futile effort. And we do not want to, every family has a story and we want to script it. That was our tagline and it is still, but we are still figuring out how we can actually make it every man's reality, that
Okay.
every person, every family has a book, and so that they could actually preserve it. So we are working around that, cutting the costing and everything. How can we actually cut the cost? Cutting the costing is not that, but how could we actually make certain things reach out to the more people? So that is what we are working on right now.
Sir,
I
so
have a
it's only
question.
for, yeah, please,
Sorry,
sure, Sally.
I have a question. So, these making illustrations and all that, I can understand how much effort they need, because I'm also into graphic designing and digital marketing. And the thing you are doing, that is something new right now. I haven't seen any company doing this, like a family script book and all that. And I can understand how much effort it needs. So how do you market this? Well, how do you do this? Because that is the main thing.
Yeah.
Marketing is the main thing.
Yeah. So, we had actually got some of the offers to market it a big time. We have a very good one advertisement video also shot by one of the couple who got their book done from us. So that video is pretty much there, and we often share it on the WhatsApp or through our YouTube channel or through our website also. You may actually find it. But other than that, we have restricted the marketing as such. Reason being, there is no point of opening up or doing the marketing if you're not ready to deliver the quantum of work which may land up to you. And we are very much we are very much aware of the fact that once we market it big time, there would be no stopping of the orders that we may actually get in. But to cater to all those offers and to deliver all the projects that we might get in through the marketing, use time marketing, we have to first have a dedicated bench strength which can actually ensure the delivery of all the products. And again, saying it again many a times that since it is all customized as of now, and the listening to the stories and everything requires a very big team or the bench strength to be on board. And that bench strength cannot come without any money. So money is something.
Definitely. That I can understand, because you said now I have, before this session, I have just gone through your website, the whole website, and the efforts you have put in all these illustrations, designing, and it took, minimum 1 month to complete a book. So I can understand, because to personalize any story, you have to just indulge into it, keeping all the, sensitivity into it. I can understand that. So that this question came to my mind.
Yeah. So that without that bench strength, we cannot actually go in for marketing. That is very much, we are clear about that. So we are just figuring out a way to, we have identified people, but again, to keep them invested into the company and to have them full-time on roles will require a huge investment. So we are working on figuring out a way to bring in that investment. So let's see how and when that happens.
But very unique and great concept.
Thank you so much.
Sir, so is it only family scripts, or we can do a book about our career or something professional also?
See, for us, family is not restricted only to the family members. Family is sometimes friends becomes family, sometimes our circle, the official circle, the professional circle that we talk about, they become a family. So in future, we would like to expand onto the French script and the Office script component too.
Right.
But as of now, we have just, done the family component. So yeah, as far as career is concerned, there are retirement gifts are there, which you may or anyone can actually get it developed. So it's a good, gift at the time of retirement, wherein the entire lifetime effort, which has actually gone into that system, or into making sure that the family takes up the right offshoots, that is documented through. So, I mean, every effort which goes into should be celebrated. That is the entire idea.
Right. Thank you, sir. Sir, could you please share your contact details?
Yeah, so the email ID is info@familyscript.com. And the number is 9560283939.
Sir, could you write it in the chat?
Okay, I'll do that. info@script.com. Okay. Anything else? Okay, Rahulji, I think.
And we can conclude.
Yeah,
Thank,
perfect.
thank you, sir. Thank you for taking out time.
Okay, Avantika, one of our team member is also here. Hi, Avantika, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. I mean, she is working with us for the past 2.5 years now. And yeah, she has been associated and has contributed in a big way. So thank you, Avantika, for
Hi, just a moment. If possible, Avantika could share some of her, brief or experience with you guys.
yeah, Avantika, would you like to do that?
She doesn't mind
Yes.
if it's okay with you.
Yes, sure. So, good evening, everybody. I have been associated with Prarabdha and specifically the family script since the past 2.5 years. And I started off as a content writer. And so, in the beginning, it was the first project that I took up. It was like the interaction with the client, and then moving on to actually scripting their whole story. It was a very personally very fun process for me because I have been into writing for a pretty long time now. And that's how we got into that project. And throughout the whole process, it took us about 3 months to finish it off, 2.5 months to finish it off. And in that whole project, that I actually understood the intricacies, the details of how much the details of what goes into designing a whole book. So that is how we actually got out the whole product. And then ever since then, my role in the company, it just kept expanding. And then I also started taking other aspects of the company. So that's that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Avantika. Okay, Rahulji, thank you so much.
One more thing I would like to say.
Yes.
Your website is very beautiful, very simple and very elegant.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. Thank you all for joining. I will be ending this now.